Sal never gets old. No matter what his age is, Sal is enthusiastic and thinks like a young person. When we got the retail program, I can remember talking to Flanagan and all, and we were wondering whether that would be a viable program or not. But at those days, we said, well, let's try anything and everything. He made it a viable program, and then he got people in that were as enthusiastic as he was when he left that. Oh, Charles is just a wonderful person. He epitomizes the erudite professor. He was excellent at what he did, and his student evaluations could not have been better. All the students loved him, and he was sincere. He loved what he did. And he did it with a wonderful sense of humor. Charles was and is a real credit to the teaching profession in this college. And he's respected in the other colleges very, very much. Mr. Bowtie. Mr. Bowtie.
I guess everybody knows that's with his bow ties. And that was always a gift you could give him, that he always knew that he'd like another bow tie.
He was born with a sense of style.
Yeah.
You either have it or you don't have it. Yeah. Don't you know people like that? Yeah. No matter what they put on, they look terrific. And what the other one puts it on, they look terrible.
But Sal, the way he was then is the way he is now. He wore a blue suit, 14,000 pins, and he was as enthusiastic then about the retail program as he was when he was in student services and business and everything else.
He wears everything that he supports on his lapels. He has his St. Jude's tie, all of his various pins that represent all of the institutions or agencies that he supports. He's a wonderful man.
Always there with the paper on
yes.
time. He had read the material. He had read 2 or 3 other books
and
by the person.
And that's why he can say that to students now who come in with the dog ate my homework excuse, you know.
Yeah.
That's not the way it works, you know.
Whatever he wanted to do, he would do it with great gusto. He really was active in whatever project he got into. Charles really was a star.
He's an excellent fundraiser for some of these causes that need support, and that's a hard thing to do. I once went to a Rhode Island company, and Charles and I asked him for almost too large a contribution for the Rhode Island Council on the Arts, and he gave it. We congratulated ourselves. We knew he'd feel better making the contribution, but I was somewhat silent, but it was Charles who was in there pitching the cause. And that's a difficult assignment. He's done it a lot for Trinity and for other causes. Because I don't think he really liked collecting
Nobody
money.
likes collecting
Hardly
money,
anyone
you know?
whom I treasure
you ever
likes
take a collection
doing it.
in a church?
Yeah. Well, it's
easy.
even there, easier and better. But it's very hard to go in to a Rhode Island institution because most of them are hard-pressed.
But I don't think that people have the idea when Charles comes, oh, God is going to ask me for money. No.
His contribution to the Board of Trustees and so forth and so on, he has contributed immensely of himself and of his fortune and so forth and so on. No, Charles is a unique person.
Very outgoing.
Treasure
without
our
being at all pushy, could size up a situation and know where he was needed.
I recently had a fairly serious operation, and it was after his problem that he presently has. I was so pleased because Paul wheeled him into my room to visit me, and he was in a wheelchair, and he still took the time and made the effort to come visit me.
Sal has always been, regular, very down to earth, but very, very committed to what he was doing, as he is now.
It's amazing to me how many things he attends, and morning, noon, and night.
But he had the ability to be focused whether in the classroom or with the Board of Governors.
It's not unusual at subcommittee meetings of the board, at board meetings, for him to take a moment out of the meeting to praise the students, to talk about the work of the students, how they've moved forward, and what the Community College of Rhode Island in particular has done for those particular students. He's very, very dedicated.
He was involved in school committees. He was always doing something.
Whether it's a basketball game, URI's Winter Gala, whether it's a lecture, whether it's a Board of Governors meeting.
I don't know if he goes to bed even.
It's not unusual to go to a breakfast at the Marriott in Providence and bump into him later in the day at a luncheon for something else.
He gets up very early. He's reading papers, I think, newspapers like 4 in the morning.
In fact, I thought at one point maybe Solomon had a twin brother who was named Solomon B. Solomon instead of Solomon A. Solomon.
On some of the vacations, his family, they own ski shops up in Lincoln and in Littleton. And he'd go up there and work with them just for something to do, like he doesn't have enough.
Solomon is all over the state of Rhode Island supporting the causes that he believes in.
Saul Solomon has made a substantial contribution to our growth and development as the largest and finest pediatric research center in the world. It is appropriate that Saul Solomon be committed to the children at St. Jude, just as he was committed to the students at the Community College of Rhode Island. And so, on behalf of all of us, Saul, each and every one of us in the Alsac St. Jude family from all across this country, but especially from the kids and the parents, congratulations and best wishes on this long overdue and well-deserved honor.
Sitting here talking about Charles, I feel like I should have a cocktail in my hand as I'm sitting here talking about him. Do you know Charles is a man of letters, many, many letters. It is unbelievable to me how he will fire off a quick little handwritten note after seeing you the night before, just to tell you that he thought you looked lovely, or it was a pleasure seeing you out, or what fun we had, what fun we had. Charles' ability to write all these wonderful little notes, thank you notes, or just kind words that he'll drop in the mail, is a wonderful and charming trait that he has. It's kind of old-fashioned, not many people do it anymore, but it gives such great pleasure when you get home in this big, sprawling handwriting of Charles that you know you have a note from him, and for just who knows what reason. It's just that he felt like he needed to drop you a line. He's creative, he's funny, he's kind, and I can't think of a better honor for Charles than to be inducted into the CCRI Hall of Fame. Congratulations, my dear friend Charles.
Two of the most remarkable characters I have ever met in my life, Solomon and Charles Sullivan.